Jan Williams, everybody else sub 50 seconds in this race. Now, in Kingston, 48.67 for the Olympic silver medalist from Bahrain, Salwa Eid Nasser. Can she do it again here? Paulino had not been beaten by Nasser, had not been beaten for a couple of years in the 400 meters. Will she manage to turn things around here? Gabby Thomas was also ahead of her. Gabby now, as we know, moved down into the short sprints. Then we throw in some new challengers. Alexis Holmes has been here as a racer with Nikisha Price in there 5 and 4. So Alexis knows that in the middle lanes, they've got a slight advantage over the challengers, particularly Amber Anning, who we're going to see in a second. There's Nikisha Price. Was only 8th in Kingston in that incredibly fast race, so she'll want to turn that around. So the world indoor champion from Great Britain, been based in the US for quite a few years now, good 200-meter runner as well. Was disqualified actually at the European Indoor Championships. A real shame that was for lane infringement. Then Stacey Ann Williams, she must look at the times and go, well, I'm pretty good. I've run 50 flat in my career, but that makes me the slowest in this field. Not by much. Then Whittaker on the inside. Actually ran an 800. I'm always curious about 400-meter runners at 2.2 this year.
Really? Okay. This is a walk in the park for her, yeah?
It's impressive. Yeah. Actually, Amber Anning's last race, 2.6 for an 800. What's going on?
You want that
400-meter runners, exactly. Yeah. Just testing with early season.
Yeah.
This, though, about their main event, the 400 meters. We got Whittaker on the inside, then Williams, Amber Anning, the world indoor champion, in 3. Nikisha Price, Alexis Holmes, Paulino, the Olympic champion, in 6. Nasser, Olympic silver medalist, winner in Kingston, and then Kendall Ellis on the outside.
You know Nasser's going to get out, but Paulino does have her in her sights just outside of her.
Set.
Safely away, everybody, round this first turn. Nasser has started quickly. Paulino's going to try and hang on to her, and also gone out pretty quickly Alexis Holmes, as she likes to as well. Amber Anning in lane 3 got some room to make up. There's a big gap between Price and the athletes outside her, so Anning's going to have to check off that. Now, look at this. Nasser out there in lane 7 has gone through the first 200 meters incredibly quickly. Paulino hanging on. Holmes is right there. Amber Anning looks as though others are starting to chase her down. Whittaker has really come through in lane 1, and as that stagger starts to unfurl, we'll put her perhaps in 3rd. But it's Nasser against Paulino. Paulino fighting, trying to get there, has got the momentum. Here she comes, the Olympic champion is going to get the win this time. Paulino, 49.21. Holmes maybe hung on for 3rd place there. Very tired in the last 20 meters.
She had to
too
do
hard, too fast, what do you think? Very quick through that first 200.
Well, the thing is, she knows that Nasser's a closer, so she knows that she's coming. And like I said, she had to come out here and establish herself. She put the finger up at the finish line just to let y'all know, look, don't forget, I'm still that girl. And you know what? I think it was important for her to maybe lose because she'd been winning so much. So Nasser had to kind of dash that cold water in her face and be like, well, who are you? And she showed us who she is today.
Time? I mean, we've had such a day today. I mean, that was about a race, though, wasn't it? As you said.
You know, I'm just looking at the time right now as we're speaking because I was caught up in the race.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal strategy. Just she stalked her around the first turn and just made sure she stayed close. She knew she could close on her edge. It was a fight in that finish line. 49.21. You break 50 point. It's respectable. We know what she can do. Like I said, she came to the home straight away, and you can see all that is a fight. And you can just see that, you know, Nasser obviously broke down, and she could probably hear the footsteps. And athletes do have that feel for the athletes that are around them.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing for the world indoor champion. You can see that Amber Anning in lane 3.
Yeah, not the best finish for her, but lesson learned. And she lined up and... Okay, so I mentioned, you can just look at Paulino's face that she is fighting for this finish. You are not beating me today. Nasser got really, really big with her arms, obviously getting very, very tired. But Paulino now knows that her speed is where it needs to be. She knows that she's going to have the strength. And she actually knows that Nasser's not going to beat her in that 200. So going into that, she's got confidence to just win the whole thing and get herself a slam championship.
Yeah, just by contrast, at 200 meters, NASA was 3/10 ahead. And, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but in it, if it was a flat 200 meters, that's a long way.
It's a long way. Those tenths mean something.
Well, MJ, a very happy spectator, and I'm sure very appreciative of another good win.
The women's 400 meters at the second stage of the 2025 Grand Slam track event in Miami delivered one of the most exciting and competitive races of the season. With nearly every runner in the field holding personal bests under 50 seconds, expectations were high, and the athletes didn't disappoint. Among the favorites was Solwa Nazer of Bahrain, the Olympic silver medalist who had just recently claimed victory in Kingston with a blazing 48.67. Paulino, however, had never been beaten by Nazer in a 400-meter final, and the Dominican star was determined to maintain that streak. Also in the field were experienced names like Kendall Ellis, Alexis Holmes, Amber Anning, and world indoor champion from Great Britain, all of whom added depth and excitement to the lineup. As the race began, Nazer, known for her aggressive starts, surged forward immediately. She dominated the opening 200 meters, building a noticeable lead. Alexis Holmes also pushed hard from the middle lanes, while Amber Anning tried to stay in touch from the inside. However, Paulino showed incredible composure. She didn't panic despite Nazer's early lead and remained focused on executing her race plan. Entering the final 100 meters, Paulino began to close the gap. With powerful strides and a clear determination, she reeled in Nazer. The Olympic champion surged ahead in the final meters to claim a decisive win with a season's best of 49.21 seconds, while Nazer settled for second with 49.33 seconds. Holmes managed to hold off a late charge to take third in 50.36 seconds, just ahead of Whitaker, who clocked 50.38. Paulino's victory was not only a display of athletic excellence, but also a masterclass in race strategy. She didn't allow Nazer's fast start to disrupt her rhythm, and her strength in the final stretch was unmatched. This win solidifies her position as the leading force in women's 400-meter running right now. Commentators highlighted that Paulino's ability to absorb pressure and finish strong shows how confident and prepared she is this season. Her post-race celebration, a single finger raised, was a clear message: she's still the one to beat. In addition to the glory, Paulino earned 12 valuable points in the Grand Slam track standings, while Nazer received 8. This event, spearheaded by Olympic legend Michael Johnson, offers athletes the chance to earn money and gain exposure, addressing one of the key issues in track and field: fair financial support for elite performance. With this victory, Paulino not only continues her winning streak, but also strengthens her reputation as one of the most consistent and dominant 400-meter runners in the world. As she looks ahead to the upcoming stages of the Grand Slam series, the track world will be watching closely to see if anyone can challenge her reign.